Good night, everybody, and welcome once again to another LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host, Yori Araman Camp from Nassau, Bahamas. I'm riding solo again. Kim has some other things to do. She's feeling better, but she has some other things to do. So it's just going to be me one again tonight. And don't forget, once again, there's no show on Wednesday. There's no show on Wednesday because I have that block marked out for my study time. So no more shows on Wednesday until after, let's say, November. So if you have not done so, please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page. LimeVibe77. That's LimeVibe77 on Facebook and YouTube. We also got a Twitter page up and rocking as well. Same thing, LimeVibe77. And we're going to find a way to start broadcasting on Twitter as well, because Twitter now has become the go-to place for a lot of this content now. Elon Musk has really picked up with Twitter, so we're going to find a way to get our content on Twitter as well, to get a part of that Twitter sphere. So yeah, please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter page, LimeVibe77. That's LimeVibe77. Also, there's a donate link inside the description. So please, anytime you want to give something to the LimeVibe Live podcast, anything that moves your heart to give to the podcast, please do so. Okay, thank you so much, man. We got a lot to chop up tonight. We have a lot to chop up tonight. A lot of things to talk about tonight. Well, first of all, I don't know if you guys have been following this Steve Harvey situation. I hate to start off with American news, but yeah, this has been trending for a while. And I just found it interesting now because they're saying that his wife has been cheating on him with their bodyguard and chef. Now, I don't know if that's true. The couple have come out and said that, no, that's not the case. They've said that that's not their case. They said that there's no cheating rumors and there's no rumors of divorce, that they're going to stay together. Him and his wife, Marjorie, they're going to stay together. So we have to take what they say at face value. We have to take what they say as what it is. They say there's no cheating rumors, there's no cheating involved, and they're not divorcing. The rumors are all false. Leave the people alone, man. And everyone's on the YouTube, on these blogs, calling Steve Harvey a simp and calling him a weak man, like he's some kind of Will Smith. But that's not the case. I don't think that's the case. We have to believe these people that there are no cheating rumors until we have definitive information about what their relationship is really about. And really, it should not be any of our business, to be honest with you. Until we have definitive business and understanding of what's been going on inside their house, leave those people alone, man. You know? And then, of course, Steve Harvey's been going through his own problems as well. He had to fire his social media manager just recently as well, too, for sending out wayward posts on social media, asking Steve Harvey's followers to mock and to name their most unfunny comedian. And a few comedians in the industry did not like Steve Harvey's approach, which really was the social media manager's approach. And so they've been calling out Steve Harvey for letting this content just spill out over his social media feed. And one such comment was Jess Hilarious, a female comedian, Jess Hilarious. When she saw the book, she called Steve Harvey out for criticizing and calling out what they call unfunny comedians, which really was in poor taste. I think they were trying to tell a joke, and the joke just went too far. So Steve Harvey fired his social media manager for it. Okay, and he should have done so. You know, that's not. You don't say these kinds of things. Those kinds of things are crass. You know, and then you're calling people out, and you're making people out, and you're shaming people. You're publicly shaming people as a result of this. So, first of all, Steve Harvey is not a simp. You know, that's their personal business. They stay out of those people's personal business. Until we have definitive proof, stay out of these people's personal business. Secondly, watch what you say on social media. I know that all these megastars, they have their own social media managers. That's fine. But you have to hire somebody with class, man. Not everybody should be hired as a social media manager because they say stupid things like this and cause you to get in trouble and be very embarrassing. You have to vet these people properly because they're speaking on behalf of you. They should know not to be making fun of, other people. They should know that's not the thing to do. They should know that's not right. And so what you're going to do by calling out these unfunny comedians, you're going to cause them to lose money because people are going to start looking at Steve Harvey's page and really starting to take into consideration whether or not this person is funny or not. And that's not the way you go about doing business. That's not how you have the next generation of comedians out there. So he was right to fire a social media manager. And I agree with him wholeheartedly with that. You know, get them out of there, because why would you do that? That was so classless and so tasteless. You know, but again, you just have to be careful what you say on social media. And if you have a publicist publishing for you on social media, which LimeVibe doesn't at this time, we're not there yet. I do all the posting myself. And I'm very careful of where I post to, where I respond to, and what I answer to. So just be careful what you say on social media. And Steve Harvey will get past these rumors about him and his marital affair. There's no affair. And the couple has pretty much said that the rumors are false. So why are people trying to break up a happy home? They just hate to see Steve Harvey happy with his wife. You know, that's when the devil starts to get busy on you, start to circle around your home, and you have to pray the blood over Steve Harvey and his wife. Pray the blood of the Lamb over Steve Harvey and his wife, because the devils are circling around. And this is how these rumors start. This is how they cause confusion, and how they ask people, and how they cause people to ask questions about their spouse. Because right now, you know, there's supposed to be all kind of tension inside the house. And this is the start of how they start to break up, you know. Now, all depends on how they weather this storm, these rumors, which they probably should. You know, they understand how this business goes. Once they weather this storm, they're coming stronger than ever. You know, what God puts together, no man can put asunder. Trust me when I say that. No man can put asunder. All right. So that's Steve Harvey off the line right there. He's not a simp. You know what the real is? You know what really a simp is? A simp is a man who cannot control himself when around women. That even though she treats him like dirt, he still goes over and above and beyond to give her his all. You know, still buying gifts, tricking on the woman, you know, buying all kinds of stuff, even though she doesn't pay him any attention whatsoever. That's a simp. That's a real simp. That's a trick. And Steve Harvey's not a trick. That's his wife. He's supposed to treat his wife right. He's supposed to treat his wife nicely. That's not a simp. And they say there's no cheating rumors, so leave them alone. Okay? That's Steve Harvey out the way. I had to start the show off with that because that was trending all over social media. I wanted to talk about that because I want to clarify this simp issue right there. There's nothing wrong with a man taking care of a woman and really being nice and sweet to her. A simp really is someone who cannot control himself. He's so weak as a man that he would let anybody walk over him like a doormat, and he would still go out above and beyond to do things and to pay for things and to treat this woman like a queen, when obviously she treats him like dirt. That's a simp. A simp cannot control himself. And Steve Harvey is so far from that. He's not a simp. He's taking care of his family the way a real black man should. And Steve Harvey should be an example for some of these young men out here to really show you how to take care of his wife and take care of her children. Because, you know, his daughter that's been getting all the press, you know, Steve Harvey's daughter, that's not his daughter with his wife. He met her with Lori Harvey. He met her with her children. He met his current wife with her children. And Lori Harvey's making the best out of her, I would say, her celebrity through Steve Harvey, which is fine. That's good. Okay. But yeah, that shows you how to real. He took care of those children. I could not have done it. I cannot take care of another man's children. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. So he's bigger than me. He's much bigger than me. All I got to say is, you know, his wife probably is a real sweet lady. You know, and that's why he's sticking with her. That's why he's willing to lie for her. If that's the case, he's not lying for her. I believe the couple when they say that they're not, you know, there's not any cheating rumors, any divorce rumors out in the open. So we need to stop this slandering people in the open air as well, too. And it's not just, you know, the black community. We're talking about the community as well, people as well. We got to stop slandering people out there in the open like that. Okay, so that's Steve Harvey out the way. Finally, there's another story that's making the rounds now. Apparently, have you heard about this? The Honduras mayor, Wilmer Wood, Bruce Laguna, he was arrested at his home in Honduras for trafficking over 90 tons of cocaine into the U.S. He was elected in 2022, and he's been arrested at his home in Bruce Laguna in Honduras. And he could face extradition to the United States, you know. And so the allegation said, President Xiomara Castro had said, and her administration had said that Wood was accused of helping 3 criminal organizations in Honduras, the Las Piñeños, Los Llanes, and Los Amador, all accused of trafficking 90 tons of cocaine into the United States. Wow. That's a lot of weight. But apparently he was doing this from 2014. So here's the thing again with the United States, trafficking in the United States. He has to have had, you know, connections in the United States to get this cocaine into the United States. Okay, so he can't be arrested alone. And I hope he's not going down. I hope he calls on everybody else, you know. And most likely he won't, because he's gonna risk death. But still though, 90 tons of cocaine into the United States. That's a lot of coke, you know. That's a lot of cocaine. That's a lot of kilos. Okay. And apparently he's been receiving this cocaine from Colombia and was doing this since 2014. So he's been a drug dealer since 2014. But how was he elected in 2022 as the mayor of Bruce Lagunas if he's involved in all this cocaine trafficking? You know, how was he elected? Doesn't that show you that some of the other officials in Honduras must be in on the take as well? It can't be this mayor going down on his own. No one just ups and transports and traffics 90 tons of cocaine into the United States just like that. And he's only involved with a few criminal organizations, a few criminal gangs. It doesn't go like that. It has to be someone high up in the administration also involved in criminal organizations, involved with these criminal organizations, involved with trafficking this cocaine into the United States. It has to be. But he's arrested now. And so he faces extradition, which Honduras does have an extradition treaty with the United States. From 2014 up until last year, July, the Honduran government has handed over 31 Hondurans to the United States under drug trafficking charges. Under President Xiomara Castro, she's done about 4 of them. Okay, and so, and which one included the former president of Honduras, Juan Orlando Hernandez, who's also tied with Juan El Chapo Guzman, who's been under arrest in Mexico for several years now. Okay, and so apparently Juan El Chapo Guzman had donated $1 million to former President Hernandez campaign, and so that's where the ties come in. So yeah, so Xiomara Castro got rid of him quickly, eliminated. See, this is what I mean. You know, elections and politics in Central America is a blood sport. You know, it's a blood sport. You know, one mess up, you could be in the United States in handcuffs in the blink of an eye. And this mayor, this Wilma Wood, can be in the United States within the blink of an eye, especially if he was proven to be like a threat to run for office, a higher office sometime later on, you know. Goodbye, Mr. Wood. Get yourself a good lawyer, man. You know, that goes to say, even in the Caribbean, we have still Andrew Fahey, or Fahy, or Fahey. I heard it's Fahey. Andrew Fahey's been arrested from last year, being held in the United States. He can't travel out of the United States. He's been under the supervision of his daughter in the United States while he waits trial for a conspiracy to transport drugs into the United States. Okay. His other 2 co-conspirators, the former customs controller and her son, they've all flipped and they've all decided to plead guilty. Andrew Fahey is the only person who hasn't pled guilty out to this as yet. And so, you know, we're just waiting for his trial to come up. He's going to fight down to the last minute, down to the end. And I wish him all the best. As well as I wish Mayor Wilma Wood from Honduras all the best as well, because, you know, fighting drug charges and federal drug charges in the United States cannot be a good thing. Cannot be a good thing. They have a 97% conviction rate, because when they come after you, they have all their charges down to a T. And you're not just facing drug trafficking, you're facing a bunch of other charges as well. And that's how the federal government gets you. They charge you with a bunch of different types of conspiracy, to trafficking drugs, to anything that they can line up against you. They will put you under the bus, under the jail, for trafficking drugs in the United States. That's how these drug charges go in the federal government. That's why they have a conviction rate of 97%. They're going to get you on something. They're going to slam you with at least 7 other different charges as well. And so they're going to get you with something, man. So yeah, just going to be careful of that, man. Can't be moving weight to the United States as easy as you think you should, or as easy as you think you could. All right. And apparently you received most of his coke from Colombia, you know. And we said that, you know, and that's where most of the coke comes from in Latin America, between Colombia and Peru. They have the best coke, and they have the best networks to move with coke. Okay, let's move well past that. I should be yawning on here. I should be yawning. Let me drink some water. I haven't eaten all day, actually. I haven't eaten. I had a rough day today. I haven't eaten all day. I was up and down all day. I was up and down all day. Drink some water, catch myself, make sure my throat doesn't chop, doesn't crack. And I don't know if you guys know about this fire festival. This fire festival that was supposed to be held in the Bahamas. Which year was that? Back in Fire Festival, back in 2016. Back in 2016, there was a failed festival. This Billy McFarlane guy was supposed to be having this fire festival in the Exumas in 2016 in the Bahamas, and it flopped. There were no artists. People were living in makeshift tents on the beach. They had no food for the people. They were feeding the people cheese sandwiches, and they never actually had a show. And that fire festival collapsed. And he collected a lot of money. And he went to jail for it. He was convicted of that, for embezzling, actually. Billy McFarlane. Apparently, this same Billy McFarlane is back in the Caribbean. And he's selling tickets to a fire festival, too. but he hasn't disclosed the location where this Fire Festival 2 is going to be. My goodness. How did he get back into the limelight to promote a Fire Festival 2 after the disaster in 2016 with the first Fire Festival in the Bahamas, where there was no acts, there was no music, there was no venue, nothing really was happening. It was a huge disaster. He ended up owing the vendors in the Exumas, for not having the event. How is he back now? And apparently, it's not that he's back, but the first 100 pre-sale tickets have gone sold out. He was selling these tickets for $499, and they've all sold out. 100 pre-sale tickets have sold out, and people don't even know where the festival is going to be. That has to be fake. He has to have bought those tickets himself. There's no way people would trust Billy McFarland after the Fire Festival 1 was a total flop. Nobody would trust Billy McFarland after this again. And there's no disclosed location. They have not said where exactly the Fire Festival 2 is going to be. So how are you buying a ticket to a festival that you don't even know where the location is? There's no acts in place. There's no musicians lined up. No one said they're coming to perform at the Fire Festival 2. So how are you buying tickets? You know what I believe? Now, just like how I said, I believe that he had somebody buy those tickets to hype this up. There's no sensible person in their right mind would buy a ticket to Fire Festival 2 after what happened to Fire Festival 1. What happened was it didn't happen in 2016. Okay? The Bahamian authorities have already said they don't want Billy McFarland back in the Bahamas ever again. He's not welcome back in the Bahamas. Okay? And he tried coming back to the Bahamas by having after the Fire Festival 1 had flopped, he was trying to do a treasure hunt in the Bahamas as well. And that totally flopped. He was kicked out. He was canceled. Get out of here. They don't want him back here. Absolutely not. And so he's back trying again with Fire Festival 2. You know, these millennials, I don't know what's going on with them, man. In this generation, I don't know what's going on. You don't buy tickets to this, man. And poor Billy McFarland, he's such a psychopath, isn't he? Such a sociopath, right? He's a psychopath. He doesn't know any better. He is going about his normal daily business, you know, running a scam after scam after scam. Now, that's not saying the Fire Festival 2 isn't a scam, but he should not be trusted after the Fire Festival 1. Obviously, he can't manage this. He can't manage something of this magnitude. So that should be your first red flag. And the second red flag that he's back again with a Fire Festival 2 at an undisclosed place. And on top of that, the tickets start at $499. The tickets start at $499. And they go as high as $7,099. $7,999. Let that sink in. And those tickets have not been put out to the public as yet because we're in the pre-sale phase and they haven't been put out yet. So he said they're coming soon. So he has tickets for $499, tickets for $799, and another set of tickets for $7,999. I did not stutter. $7,999. That's almost $8,000 he's selling these tickets for. Okay. Cool. You know, spend your own risk. You would probably want to take a nice visit to another Caribbean island, and you just want to say that you went to a Caribbean island. That's fine. You know, waste your parents' inheritance or your trust fund money. You'll spend money on it because no person who works hard for their money would pay for a ticket to come to this. Absolutely not. Especially when there's no act in place, there's no venue, and there's no location, there's no musicians lined up. At least with the first one, he had Ja Rule. The first one, he had Ja Rule lined up. And Ja Rule was there promoting it right, left, and center. You know, going at him, yeah, we're going to do this Fire Festival in the Exuma. Ja Rule was a part of the marketing. You know, I guess the first time really was a fluke. You got all these people to descend in the Exumas, and it turned out to be a flop, a total flop. Trust them at your own risk. Okay. That's the first three stories. You know, yeah, I mean, you know, any other Caribbean country inviting Billy McFarland in, they should learn a lesson from the Bahamas and really be very, very careful. Be very wary of how he comes into the Bahamas or how he comes into your jurisdiction. You shouldn't want him there. All right. Unless it's Barbados and it's Rihanna. And Rihanna's there making that happen. She's spending her money making that happen. Otherwise than that, you don't know part of Billy McFarland at all. That'll be something if he gets Rihanna. I'd be shocked. I'll take up this hat and eat it bit by bit with no sauce, no ketchup, no nothing. I'll eat this hat on this camera bit by bit. If he gets Rihanna to help promote a Fire Festival 2 in Barbados. You will see me cut my hat up. I'll eat it bit by bit right in front of you guys. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Another story that's made the news, also made international news. Apparently, a Guyanese, a descendant of a Guyanese slave owner, has come to Guyana from Britain, from England, to apologize to the Guyanese people for their part in slavery. Apparently, Charles Gladstone apologized for his ancestor John Gladstone. He was a sugar and coffee planter in Guyana, and he was deeply involved in the slave trade. And this John Gladstone, also by chance, was also the father of the 19th century British Prime Minister William Ewart Gladstone, and received more than 100,000 pounds in compensation for his hundreds of slaves after he abolished slavery. Okay, and so yeah, he received hundreds of thousands of pounds for losing his slaves, and his son just happens to be, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. John Gladstone was the father of the former British Prime Minister William Ewart Gladstone. Okay, this is what his descendant Charles Gladstone had to say in front of an audience at the University of Guyana. He said, "It is with deep shame and regret that we acknowledge our ancestors' involvement in this crime, and with a heartfelt sincerity, we apologize to the descendants of the enslaved in Guyana. In doing so, we acknowledge slavery's continuing impact on the daily lives of many." Oh, thank you for that. But you didn't spend no money though. Where's the money? Where's the 100,000 pounds that should be now worth millions of dollars now? Share some of that money. And the funny thing is, Guyanese President Irfan Ali was not in the audience, even though he had demanded for reparations for slavery for the people in Guyana. And it's funny that he's fighting for it because he's not a descendant of slavery. He's half Indian. He's Indian actually. He doesn't have any part to slavery. It's the Africans who had a hardship in Guyana with slavery. So we thank President Irfan Ali fighting for the Guyanese, Afro-Guyanese people with regard to asking for reparations for slavery. And but he was in the audience at the University of Guyana when this Charles Gladstone came and apologized on behalf of his ancestors and his people. And the statement also goes on as well. During his speech, Charles Gladstone also said that he wants to build a meaningful and long-term relationship with the people and family of Guyana. Yeah. In writing this heartfelt apology, we also acknowledge Sir John Gladstone's role in bringing indentured laborers to Guyana and apologize for the clear and manifold injustices of this. That's nice. So share some of the money. He's also going to start a fund in Guyana to help with the reparations and to help with building Guyana back up. So that's good. All right, he started something. Okay, that's the first step. And maybe these other descendants of these people who had slaves around the Caribbean come out and should apologize and share their wealth that they've made monies off the backs of slavery. I agree with this wholeheartedly. All right, this is good stuff, man. And he did this last week at the University of Guyana, and they've accepted it. But like I said, President Irfan Ali was not in the audience. He was not in attendance during this apology. So you just have to watch out for what that is. Okay, hopefully he'll approach the Guyanese government with sincerity, with sincere, heartfelt gestures, and not just speaking to a group of nondescript Guyanese people, which was good, but approach the government formally and say, so we want to make formal amends to this. We want to set this up properly. We want to set up a fund. We want to help the Guyanese people to get up and set up some scholarships and set up some business interests and some opportunities in Guyana for the Guyanese, Afro-Guyanese people. That should be the next step. Okay. Yeah, do that. That should be good, man. Otherwise than that, it's been really a boring Monday. The week just started. I'm starting classes again. Like I said before, I went to the gym this morning as I always do. As I always do. I'm up and I'm ready. I'm rocking and rolling, man. Just trying to get myself together. It's gonna be a short show tonight, not too long. We just went through that. We buzzed through our 4 topics tonight. And go back to Steve Harvey. Let's start from the top again. Steve Harvey is not a simp. I don't know why you guys use this liberally. This word simp so liberally. Steve Harvey's not a simp. That's his wife. That is his wife. And he hasn't nearly been insulted and humiliated the way Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, has humiliated him on several occasions. That's not even close to that. I don't think his wife would do something like that. Because, Steve Harvey comes from a real masculine frame. He's not some namby-pamby little soft guy who just grew up in a sheltered home. Steve Harvey lived on the streets, man. Steve Harvey came from a real long way. If you listen to this biography, you really, follow him. He tell you that he's sleeping in his car in the first few months of his adult life. He was sleeping in a car, and someone had to take him in and help him. He was sleeping on the streets in Cleveland. Steve Harvey came from a long way, and it's people like him we need to look up to. And he always preaches. He always talks about God. He always puts God first, and LimeVibe puts God first as well. God is involved in everything. He will bring you out. And he brought Steve Harvey from a very long way. There's not much like him, that can really get up there and say that he stands up for himself. And so these attacks are nothing but the devil trying to break up a happy home. They came after his daughter, his stepdaughter, Lori Harvey, but they couldn't touch her because she was covered in the blood. And even for her indiscretions, so she's a young woman enjoying her life. Let her enjoy her life. She shouldn't have been dating Future for sure. That was a huge mistake. You should not have been dating Future. That's for damn sure. Because anyone who dates Future has to be prepared for the toxicity that comes along with Future and all the darts that comes at you when you date someone with the caliber of Future who has multiple wives, multiple baby mamas out there. Okay, multiple baby mamas. And so when you get involved with that, you just have to understand that you're dealing with someone like him. Okay? Yeah. So yeah, we use that word sim too liberally, man. Yeah, Steve Harvey's not a sim, and I'm glad he also fired that social media manager, and they shouldn't be mocking, unfunny comedians the way they were on social media. You gotta be careful, man. You gotta be very careful when you talk about people like that, because you could bring attention to people who don't need attention brought to them, because everyone's out there trying. Everyone is out there trying their best. All right. Everyone's trying their best to get along in life and make it up in life. Because can you imagine if someone did that to Steve Harvey when he first started, to really mock him like that? Yeah, I can understand you're going to have a tough crowd when you're actually doing a set. But no one just goes out to intentionally malign you. They want to heckle you. But that's not maligning your character. That's not maligning your talent and your craft. That's something totally different. Heckling from a heckler is one thing. But being maligned and being dragged in the mud is a totally separate situation. And so Steve Harvey didn't endure that. So he should have put that on the next generation. That social media manager was extremely wrong. It was terrible for doing that. Horrible. Another situation that happened has been happening for the past several months now. Apparently, the Panama Canal is in a drought and has 200 ships or more backed up in the Panama Canal, cannot pass through because the canal, Panama, is in a drought and the water is drying up. So the ships can't pass through easily the way they could have back, let's say, 5-10 years ago. The Panama Canal is drying up. So that means trade and goods coming through the Panama Canal, is going to be, extremely backed up. Because that route is going from, the rest of the world coming through to the United States, and the United States shipping goods through the Panama Canal, through the Pacific, and going back and forth. So that's a really, really important channel for the United States. That means that's an important channel for us as well. Because us on this part of the world, the Atlantic part, most of our goods come through that Panama Canal as well. So we want to hope that they'll find some water, pump some water into the canal, do something. The engineer should have found out something that they could have done to get the Panama Canal up and moving again. Because right now, 200 tankers, 200 ships are just stuck in, 200 plus ships, I should say, are stuck in the Panama Canal and can't move. And no one's really watching that, but that's what's really happening, man. And go on Caribbean Magazine Plus, and you'll see the story right there. It's one of our stories from Friday. Climate change is hitting the Central American country entryway as hard as once flowing canal has seized up under the rising temperatures that have sucked the water literally out of the canal. The water's being sucked out of the canal, man. The Wall Street Journal had this story as well. But go to Caribbean Magazine Plus, you have a good synopsis of what's been going on and a backdrop, some history of what's been happening with the Panama Canal over the past several months as well. We go really, really in depth with this. So look at that and then tell me what you think. And then pray for the Panama Canal, that we get those ships moving in and out of the Panama Canal for our benefit. Because we would want that. We don't want trade backed up. We're already dealing with inflation. Inflation because the containers from between China and California are being backed up. They've only started to just now make containers to get shipping moving again more fluidly from China to the United States. So that had caused prices to rise. Now you have the Panama Canal already backed up. You know, I just put in double trouble for us. All right. Yeah. Let's keep that going. Yep. So this Honduras mayor again, man. I feel so incredibly, sorry for him because his own people arrested him. This wasn't a U.S. sting operation. This was as a result of the Honduran government going after him. His own people set him up. Well, got him out there, and they want to extradite him out of Honduras into the United States, which is most likely going to happen. He's going to be extradited because if they have that kind of case on him with 90 tons of cocaine, they're going to get him out there as quickly as possible. And Xiomara Castro, the president of Honduras, he's also had her own mini gang crackdown in the vein of El Salvador as well. So she's really taking a tough stance on gangs in Honduras. It's not been as successful as Nayib Bukele in El Salvador, but she's trying her best. While Nayib Bukele in El Salvador has arrested thousands of gang members, thousands, not hundreds, thousands. Xiomara Castro only arrested probably about 700 plus or so. That's really a drop in the bucket compared to what she could be picking up off the street. And of course, she's concerned about, how the world will perceive her and human rights. But, that's the difference between a male and a female leader, and she's doing her job. And she's very sensitive towards how, people are being picked up indiscriminately in Honduras. And so you have to give her that respect. And she seems to be very incisive as well. She went straight to the core and arrested this mayor in Honduras to get rid of a major drug trafficker. 90 tons of cocaine, that's a lot of trafficking. He's a major drug trafficker in my eyes. Since 2014, that's a major drug trafficker. He's been tied to these other 3 gangs as well. Thank you for getting him off the streets. We don't like drugs at LimeVibe. We hate drugs. We are for anyone who's getting after drug traffickers. And we're going to report that here. And we're going to talk about it very candidly here because we are very, very serious when it comes down to dealing with drug traffickers and making sure that the spotlight is shed on these people. Because we see this on the streets every day. I traveled to Colorado early on this year. And Colorado is a legal weed state. And trust me, I've seen the people sitting in there in Colorado just looking in a day. People just there like, they're just out of it. I've seen the damage it can do. And that's only marijuana. God knows what else those other people are on. What else they can get their hands on, And so I see the people who have lost their minds walking on the streets, even here in Nassau, Bahamas. People are just out of their minds on cocaine. And it's a real sad state. These people are so addicted and they can't get off of it, man. Addiction is a real serious demon. Addiction is a real serious demon. When you see that descend upon your house, you need everything. You need the book, you need the Bible, you need the blood. You need Jesus come and intervene in your house personally to help you. We've seen it. We've seen what it does to families. We've seen what it does to the human spirit. We've seen these people just totally waste away. We've seen people start up and looking nice and looking, upstanding citizens. We've seen them waste away. We've seen them lost their mind. We've seen them go through, drug-induced psychosis where they're no use to anyone else, not even themselves. We've seen that happen. And so we just want to be careful. We just want to be careful how we, monitor these drug traffickers. And anytime you have a chance to crack down on a drug trafficker, crack down on him, man. Crack down on him. And we applaud Xiomara Castro for getting this mayor out of there, Wilma Wood out of there. And he's not gone yet. He's still in Honduras. So he's going to be probably gone before the end of the year. They're going to extradite him because she's an extraditing woman. She's a traveling woman. She'd send you away to the United States. She's done 4 of them already since she's been arrested. She isn't here, and we support her 100%. Yeah. Going back over this Fire Festival. I just can't get over this Billy McFarland. The audacity of Billy McFarland. The audacity of him. The audacity, man. He has some real big ones. He has some real big balls, man. He has some real big ones. To try this Fire Festival 2 again. To try this Fire Festival again. To really pop his face out of that. That's a psychopath, That's a real psychopath. He has no heart. He has no shame. He's just going to continue on with this scam until it continues on, until someone stops him. I don't see how the authorities in the United States are letting him run this operation again. The United States should stop him. hopefully we'll find which Caribbean country he's in, and hopefully we'll get that sort of quickly. We'll have that news for you on the next opportunity we have. But yeah, hopefully we'll have that for you. So we're gonna do some investigation. We're gonna find out what's this Billy McFarland guy up to and see exactly where he's gonna come. And hopefully we'll have that for you guys. We're gonna do our work as media, as a reporter, as journalists. I'm gonna do that work for you. Hopefully I get him on the phone. I talk to him personally because he was very candid with Bahamian authorities when he screwed up last time in 2016 with the Fire Festival 1. He was very candid, so he'll speak. And plus, these guys are all narcissistic as well. They're all egomaniacs. Of course, they want to be in front of the camera. They want to be seen as the big guy, doing all the good things, all the big important things, right? So he'll speak. He'll come out and he'll speak. I'm almost certain of it. And he has no shame whatsoever. So we just want to continue on with that, man. Otherwise than that, like I said, we're gonna get out here early as well too. There's not really much to talk about. It's a boring Monday. And like I said, on Wednesday, there's no show on Wednesday. There's no show on Wednesday because I'm gonna use that block to really read my books. I should have no show on Monday actually. No, but I want to have the Mondays. I want to have the Mondays. That's the beginning of the week. I can always catch up on the Tuesday and the Wednesday and catch up with my readings like that. Once I get the readings done. I started school late this year. For some reason, I was of the impression that school started this week. No, school started last week. Yeah, I show you how much I was having a hot boy summer, man. I was enjoying myself. I could not fathom myself. I don't know why I was just stalling off of this, man. I could not fathom to see myself back in class. Now I got back in my first class today, and I was extremely excited to be back in class. Listening to the lecture and studying where I'm studying, actually. I was really excited about that, man. I was with bells on, even though I didn't have the readings, I didn't do any readings for the following week, because my first day in class, I'm just not registered. So, hopefully I'll get used to this, man. Yes, sir. And we'll take it from there, So, like I said, if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page, LimeVibe77. That's LimeVibe77. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, too. Our poetry contest at the Caribbean Magazine Plus came to an end on Friday. And we have a few good entries this year. Everyone really came with bells on. So hopefully we'll have the winners announced in the next 2 months or so, because it takes a while for the evaluators to really comb through every particular entry. So hopefully we'll have the winners announced by, let's say, the end of September going on to the first part of October. And we can share those news with you. Hopefully we can have them on an interview on LimeVibe as well. We can talk to them and tell them how much we appreciate them entering our contest. Yeah, it was a real good contest, man. We got a good buzz, but we could have gotten a bit bigger buzz because we only did that through Facebook. That was only our Facebook we've done that through. What we normally do is we normally have Google ads as well, but the budget didn't allow for Google ads, and we just did it on Facebook. So hopefully we'll have Google ads the next time and really get people that are really interested. So when they do the search in the Googles, they're searching for a particular contest, they'll come across our contest, and they'll be inclined to get involved. So hopefully, and then of course too, next year, as well as with the short story competition as well, next year, we're going to open it up to the world. We're just not going to focus on Central America and the Caribbean. We find that there's been some challenges with that. There's been some challenges. And so we want to open it up to the rest of the world. So we want people from the United States, from Britain, from Japan, from China, anybody who has a poem that wants to enter into the Caribbean Magazine Plus poetry contest or the Caribbean Magazine Plus short story contest. We're opening up to the world. So yeah, we're going to do that for the short story competition coming up in September. So be on the lookout for that. September or October? No, I think we're going to do the short story competition sometime in October this year. Yeah, so we're going to look out for that. Look out for that first, guys. So we're opening up for the world. So you guys who want to be a part of the Caribbean Magazine Plus and what we're doing here on the LimeVibe podcast, you guys will have a chance to take part in what we're doing over here, okay? Because we've been getting a lot of requests to open up to everybody else. We've been getting a lot of requests from people who think that they want to enter, but they can't enter because of the restrictions. We've only limited to the Caribbean and Central American countries, but we're going to open it up, man. We're going to give everybody a chance. We're going to because who knows who's going to have the next big break? Hopefully someone from the region will win, but let's open it up, man. All right, let's get out of here then. So thank you guys for joining in again for the LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host, Yuri Armin Kemp, and hopefully I'll see you guys on Friday, God willing. So let's get out of here. All right. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page. That's LimeVibe77. LimeVibe77 on Facebook and YouTube. And we're also on Twitter now as well. So we just started our Twitter page as well, LimeVibe77. Because Twitter is where it's at now, apparently. That's where all these new live shows are coming through right now. So look out for us, guys. So thank you again for joining me again for another webcast. And hopefully we'll be back on Friday. Thank you, guys. I got to share the audio. Sorry, I'm getting on there too quickly. Share. There you go.